Okay, well, we're back.
We're
Me
back.
and Sir Ian, and we're still in Sikihor, but I
Don't believe everything he says.
I invested in a green screen, and I've replicated my couch.
Yes.
So, because I know how you guys love the couch. So we thought we'd revisit. Ian's go out of town in a couple days, and so I thought I'd ask Ian. He's been here now. What, after Sikihor? What, 2 days, 3 days since we got back?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your impressions of Dumaguete? You have any, what's happened since we've been back?
Well, I've had a bit more time to think about some of your questions and about what Dumaguete's like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think Dumaguete's got a lot going for it. I mean, it does have malls around the place where, you know, you've got theatres, you've got some more high-end shops. The downtown Dumaguete is not particularly pedestrian friendly. There are a lot of trikes around, and they tend to make a lot of noise, and crossing roads and so forth can be a little bit challenging. It's just a little bit noisy, but of course the general lifestyle I think around Dumaguete is pretty good, and there are quite a few expats here. And in fact, you asked me what's happened.
Yes.
And one thing which happened just after you launched the previous interview with me on YouTube.
Yes.
A few hours later, I happened to be at one of the malls in Dumaguete called Lee Plaza.
Lee Plaza, the world famous Lee Plaza.
Lee Plaza, and I was downstairs at a coffee shop, and I was perched up there having a coffee, and a Western fella came up to me and he asked if he could sit in a chair opposite me, and he had a fine American accent, so I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I said, oh, what part of North America do you come from? I didn't say the United States because, of course, there are a lot of accents in the very north of the United States that sound a lot like Canadian accents. And Canadians are the most polite people in the world, so I didn't want to say what part of the States are you from, because then I could wind up annoying or insulting a Canadian.
Is that how you insult a Canadian?
Yeah, you asked what part of the States you're from.
I'll remember that.
But, they're great people. I love, Canadians are brilliant. I mean, we like people from the States too, of course, but Canadians are really polite, and I always appreciate that. So anyway, he said that he was from New Hampshire, and then he asked me, oh, do you know where that is? And I said, yes. And then he said, oh, yes, you're a bit older, so you would have studied geography in school, but the youngsters these days, they don't study geography, so they wouldn't know where New Hampshire is. And then I said to him, so what part of the United States do you think I'm from? And he looked really confused, and he was staring at me, and he said, your accent sounds like it's Australian, but I can understand you. And so that's a bit weird, but nothing made sense. And so I said, very good. In fact, I am from Australia. I said, I've never been to the United States. And it's interesting, you know, because under our previous video, there was a comment from one of your many viewers, and he said...
all 7 of them.
No, maybe 700 or 7,000. You're getting close to 7,000 followers.
Okay.
Subscribers. But he, one of your viewers put down there, oh, an articulate Australian. And he'll know who he is. And so I put the response, which was, I've never been accused of that before.
Yeah.
Being articulate. But anyway, so I was chatting to Dale very briefly, and he asked me, you know, what brought me to Dumaguete. So I mentioned you. And then I mentioned that I'd seen YouTube videos, and then he said to me, oh yeah, I saw you on Geo's YouTube. And I hadn't been on Geo's YouTube, but it confused Geo with you, which
that happens all the time.
Yeah. So there's another very well-known YouTuber in the Philippines called Geo, G-I-O, and he's got Geo in the Philippines, and Paul's one of his friends, and we actually caught up with Geo a few days ago.
We did.
Tom and Tom's coffee shop opposite the beach. But getting back to this fellow, I asked him his name, and his name is Dale from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
And then his wife rocked up. She was a Filipina. Her name is Cherie. So hi, Cherie. Hi, Dale. Great to meet you the other day. And we had a bit of a chat with them. So it was interesting because I'd only been on the air a matter of hours, and I was being recognised.
Wow.
And Cherie recognised me, and they both sort of said, yeah, you look really familiar. I wasn't so recognisable; they recognised me instantly. But yeah, I think Paul, you might be becoming a big fish in a small pond here.
No, what's
No?
happened is May has taken over the
Oh
entire
yeah, she.
thing.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
one says hello to me anymore.
Oh no.
They
Well,
just say, "Oh, there's Baby May,"
and the sidekick.
and that
He's the sidekick. But yeah, another thing that happened, you asked what's happened,
Yeah.
and I did mention Gio.
Yeah.
The three of us spent a bit of time having a cup of coffee.
Yes, we
and
did.
It turns out Gio had spent some time in the army as a medic.
Right.
And he had sort of encountered all sorts of dangers. He'd have to go out. He was a medic who'd go out. So if someone's injured, he'd go out and help bring the soldier back and attend to him. So he'd sort of have to dodge snipers and roadside bombs. That
Right.
didn't faze him.
No.
But he seems to suffer from arachnophobia. So there's this big, tough army guy who suffers. He's scared of spiders.
Yeah.
And so,
Terrified.
yeah, tell us what he did.
A couple of times he almost checked into a hotel because there was a spider in his apartment.
Yeah, but you tell him
Well-
what Gio did to that poor hapless spider that was minding its own business.
He shot it. And had to explain why he spent the bullet.
Yeah, they've got to account for all their rounds. So there was one KIA.
That's his one kill.
But I went towards a body count. Did he get a medal for that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But that's a funny story. So, and well, to be fair, Paul told Gio, you should make a YouTube video about that. So we've given him a chance.
Yeah.
But he's
Gio, it's up to you, pal. You need to take this ball and run with it.
Yeah, but we beat him to the punch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well.
But thanks for that story, Gio.
Yeah, thank you, Gio.
Yeah.
I'll hijack some more of your stuff.
And
So tell me a little bit about Filipino logic.
oh, well,
Let me
that's
throw you a curveball here.
well, it's
Because we've just had an hour and a half of Filipino logic.
yeah.
Can you? You don't have to tell the details of what we've been through with Baby May and with Bing, but can you kind of encapsulate it for us a little bit? Can you give us a spin on it, or maybe an interpretation of what Filipino logic is?
Well, in one word, it's oxymoron. And a lot of you guys will be used to the word oxymoron, but if you're not, look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Filipino and Filipino logic is non-existent. It's like, we're going to go here, then 2 minutes later they change their mind. We'll take a motorbike, we'll walk,
Right.
we'll walk an hour here, we'll do
Yeah.
this. Plans just keep changing constantly.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's an ever state of flux
yeah, it's quicksand.
that we stay in. And Filipino time. What do you
Yes.
think about that?
Well, yeah, there are variations on that. You've got Thai time, and so if someone rocks up an hour or 2 or 3 late, that's fine. But I mentioned to you that in the Fiji, if someone rocks up to a wedding 3 days late, that's still fine. That's considered fine.
Yeah.
And of course, at the other end of the spectrum, we've got the Japanese, the Swiss, and the Germans who are extraordinarily punctual.
Yes, they are.
And I mean, I think Americans and Aussies aren't too bad.
No.
But yeah, we're much more punctual than the Filipinos
Yeah.
or the Thais or whatever.
That's actually a big bone of contention for guys that live out here from the States,
Yep.
from Germany,
Yep.
from Australia, is because, where we come from these capitalist type of societies where time is money.
Time's money.
And you got to get to work on time. You've got to get your deal done on time.
Yep.
You've got to get the papers in on time. You've
Yep.
got to get the facts on time.
Yep.
You've got to get the check deposited on time.
Yep.
Pop, 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 pop. We
Yep.
can go on and on and on and on. And here,
We've got it all wrong.
it's just,
That's why we're so stressed.
it just doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
And I've been here close to 3 years, and I finally adjusted to it. I've just relaxed, and I've just toned myself down, and I keep reminding myself that I'm retired, and I don't have anywhere to be,
Yeah.
and I don't have anywhere that I've got to go.
Yeah.
And if I have an appointment, like I meet some subscribers or a
Yep.
friend, and we're going to have a coffee, and if it's Ian, and I say I'll see you at 10, I'm there at 10.
Yep.
And
He
if May's ready, great. And if she's not, I just leave May at home.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes because I'm going to be on time. And she's okay with that. She understands. She gets it. She doesn't get it, but she gets it.
She tolerates you.
She just tells me.
She tolerates your punctuality.
Why are you rushing? Why are you stressed?
Yeah.
You know? It's because, well, I've got to be here at 10 and I got to go over there at 11. And she's like, well, just relax.
Yeah.
So, what else? What else is going on? You're flying out tomorrow, is it? Or,
I'll be
day
heading
after
up to
tomorrow?
Cebu. But actually, something that's looking at us at the moment is your famous chicken.
Yeah.
So he gets you every year.
He does.
You asked me what's been happening. I mean, one of the things I've found around the Philippines is a lot of the animals look very different. Like, we've got all these scrawny dogs running around the place, all these stray dogs that run across the road in front of you. There's quite often a chicken running across the road.
Yeah.
In fact, yesterday, I was out and about. I hired a trike for a little while. I didn't really know where I was going. I just hired this guy to take me around on the trike.
Okay.
And this is a true story. I was going along and he pointed at something to me, and I kid you not, I saw a chicken that was a lot scrawnier than this, but it had 3 legs. I don't know how that happened. It's just a genetic freak. Anyway, it was scooted across the road in front of us, and it's like going at 100 miles an hour with its 3 legs. And I said, follow that chicken. So the driver, in his little truck, he follows the chicken, and we get to kind of like a farmhouse, and we sort of get off the trike, and a young guy comes out, and he says, "Can I help you, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but I just saw a 3-legged chicken run behind your house."
Wow.
And he said, "Oh yeah, we breed them." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "What do you breed 3-legged chickens for?" And he said, "Well, everyone in my family likes drumsticks, and I've got my mum and my dad here, or my mother and my father, and myself. We all want a drumstick." So I said to him, "Well, what do they taste like?" And he said, "Don't know, we haven't been able to catch one yet." So, and that's a true story, Paul. So you can mark that one down. True story. There's plenty of weird. There's a lot of weird-looking dogs and chickens running around.
I'll tell you, the first thing that struck me when I got here from the States, something that it just warmed my heart. It absolutely brought back all masculinity into my body. Is all the dogs here have balls.
They do, yes, yeah, I've heard
I haven't seen a dog with a set of balls since 1983.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, all the women back home go, well, you got to get them fixed.
Yeah.
They might breed. Well, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But, so it started with the dogs.
Yeah. And then it moved on to the humans.
And then it moved into the marriage contract. So,
I can see that
over
coming.
here, I looked around and I said, I'm home. My first 10 minutes, I saw a dog with balls.
Yeah.
I said, this is my place. All right.
Yeah.
So what else? We got dogs with balls. We got 3-legged chickens. We got Filipina time.
Yeah.
The green screen's working awesome.
Oh, he's doing great. Yeah.
So what are your plans from here? You're going to go where and do what?
Well, I'm going to Cebu, and one of the things I wanted to do was to get to Davao, because there's a lot of there's a good music scene there, and anyone who has visited my own YouTube channel, look, we're not going to plug it too hard today.
But do it one more time.
One more time, okay. The name of my YouTube channel is Ian Yarwood, and I'll put a link, I'll put a comment under this video so you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
But if you want to feel really miserable, and you want to learn a bit about corruption and crime and murder and rape and mayhem in Thailand, and you really want to feel down, you visit my channel. If you want to feel good about life, just subscribe to Paul's channel, you'll be right. But if you want to feel miserable, you go to my channel, and I've got a lot of informational videos, I've got satirical videos, and with the music videos, I just hire really good performing artists, singers and bands and so forth. And the Philippines does export a lot of really good singers and musicians. So I wanted to get someone from Davao, or a band from Davao, and make a YouTube video with them. So I'm going to be in the Philippines for another week, and if all goes to plan, I will find a band that wants to record one or more of my songs, and I'll put that on my channel.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's one of the plans I've got. It's one of the things I've had a bit of a checklist. I wanted to come to Dumaguete to see what the attraction was, and I find the place very livable. I mean, there's lots of, I mean, you asked, one of the things you asked me is about the difference between Thailand and
yes.
And the Philippines. And then you mentioned the food, and a lot of people are not crazy about Filipino food, and in fact there are not many Filipino restaurants scattered around the world, whereas there are a lot of Thai restaurants. But in a place like Dumaguete, there's a McDonald's there, there's a Jollibee, which is kind of an equivalent. There are a lot of Western restaurants within Dumaguete, so it's a good place. You don't have to eat any particular type of food. It's big enough that it supports enough bars, coffee shops, restaurants. You've got a good variety, so you don't have to just eat the local food.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get back to Australia, you're going right back to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was bad in a previous life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm paying for my sins.
Now, do you think you'll ever come back to the Philippines?
I certainly think so.
Have you got any kind of a time frame in mind?
No. I mean, at the moment, my time frame is day to day.
Yeah.
I've been working on Filipino time, Filipino logic.
Yeah.
And my time frame is day to day. But
yeah.
I mean, one of the things I mentioned to you is that I could have retired 10 years ago. I had more money. I was younger.
Right.
I was better looking, and I could have retired 10 years ago. And I can retire now, but I think I'm probably in a bit of a rut because a lot of people always think, how much money do I need to retire? And maybe I just need a little bit more, have that safety net. But I'll probably be retiring soon. And I like Southeast Asia. I was actually born in Java, so I'm used to the heat. In Perth's got a very dry heat. I really like Perth.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just fun to be in Southeast Asia, where there's a different culture, and we've been mentioning some of the negatives, but there's a lot of positives as well.
Well, you know what, the negatives, you have to take tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to roll with it. And they're not necessarily negative.
No.
They're just
but
on the old dog channel, we don't sugarcoat stuff. And I don't have any drones, and, you know, I don't fly into the sunset and arrive on a surfboard or anything like that. It's just freaking couch.
And the green screen.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
You got anything else you want to add? Anything you want to sell? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, well, just once again, actually, you know, one thing I'd like is when people leave comments underneath, I wouldn't mind if people just say where they're from. I mean, because you get people say, I'm from Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy knows who he is.
Yeah.
But if you say, look, I'm from Calgary in Canada, or I'm from Northumberland in England, or I'm from Hobart in Australia.
Right.
That's really interesting. I mean, because to your credit, you've actually got a great little community of people who post comments, and I just invite people to just let us know where you're from.
Yeah, tell us more about you.
Actually, and one thing I wanted to ask you is, you said that you've got something like 50% of your viewers are from the US.
That's correct.
Do you know roughly, really approximately, where your other viewers are coming from?
Yeah.
Would it be about 5% in the Philippines?
10% are in the Philippines.
Okay, yep.
And then the rest are broken up between the UK, Australia, Canada.
Yep.
And then there's just a sprinkling of Japan and the Middle East. And it's all over the map.
Yep.
The thing is that you don't know who's watching unless they comment. You get the thumbs up, the thumbs down.
Yep.
I can never figure out what that means. You know, is the thumbs up because you like the content? Is the thumbs up because you like the scenery? Is the thumbs up because you like the guest? Is the thumbs down because you didn't like, the blah, 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 blah. So the comments help a lot. The issue with comments is that I can't answer them all personally. There's just not
as
enough
quickly
hours
as you'd like.
in a day, you know.
But you read them all.
I do, and I heart them to let everybody know that I've read them. One thing, I guess I should make a correction. In the last video that we did from Sikihor, I said the Chinese are buying up all of it. Well, the Chinese are buying up a lot of the Philippines. And I got the comment, a foreigner can't own land.
Yes,
and you're right.
You're
right. So let me clarify a little bit for you. Number one, you can lease the land for 30 years, 50 years, 99 years. If you have a Filipino partner, you can buy the land. And if you form some kind of whiz-bang corporation, you can buy the land under the corporation. I, in fact, on my second trip to Sikihoy, the one previous to this one, I met an Australian guy who had this beautiful resort on the island there. We went and visited him. We went to dinner with him, this little group that I went with. And he was explaining it to me that him and his brother had a construction company in Australia. They had a lot of money. These boys had deep, deep pockets. And they had been building this place for 5 or 6 years. And it was going on Filipino time. It was not being constructed properly and blah, blah, blah. But I said, well, how do you own this? And he said, through a corporation. And he dropped it. And what he insinuated, though, was if you have enough money and you know the right people, anything can get done. So I just kind of want to clarify that. You know, yes, I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said that the Chinese and the South Koreans are building all over instead of buying. So
but
anyway,
they own the lease. I mean,
you know, let me clarify that little error. And other than that, what do we got coming up? Well, we were going to have a special guest today, but she changed her mind. Go figure. And
she was Filipino, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a previous guest. We'll leave her name out of it, but we'll get her back here another time. And what's in the future? What have I got planned? Oh, I've got a couple of things that I don't want to tell you because, again, it involves someone else, and you never know how that's going to play out. You know? So anyway, thank you for watching. Sir Ian, I want to thank you for having been such a gentleman
and thank you
and
for
being such a good friend and such a loyal guy. I've really enjoyed the time. This is a subscriber that I just met. We became very good friends, and that's one of the great benefits of this little deal. And so Baby May gives her love and her kisses, and Baby May's channel is May Cooking. May is M-A-E capitalized. And cooking is all lowercase. And we'll figure out a link for that too. All right, guys. Suggestions, comments, questions. Hasta la taco.
And let us know where you're from.
Bye.
Cheers.